Hey everyone, this is Dave Howington again at HPI at IBJI, coming at you with another tip for your Glencoe Grand Prix. If you remember, last time we talked about the hip hinge, with the hips going backwards, shins staying perpendicular. Well today, now that we've perfected the hip hinge, what we're going to start to focus on now is the squatting movement. So when you squat, what you want to think about is you want to think about now, your hips are going to go backwards, but now you actually want your shins to come forward. Alright, so now we're going to get a little bit more quad work in, as well as still building up those hamstrings and glutes. So if you watch, this is the hip hinge. Alright, make note of my shins. And then from here, we're going to go to the squat. Alright, notice my hips go backwards, so I'm still loading my hips to take that pressure off my knees. But also notice now that my knees are bending forward and my shins are kind of being a little bit more angled forward. And then I come back up, and just like the hip hinge, you want to think about squeezing the glutes. Now, a couple mistakes I see people make with these that we want to try to avoid is the knees bending too far forward, like this, and I'm not getting any hip movement, or the back rounding too much, like this, and then the knees bending, so now I'm loading up my spine too much. Alright, so again, we don't want the knees to come forward without the hips moving backwards, nor do we want the back to bend and the knees to come forward. We want to make sure, just like with all our other exercises, that we keep that core engaged the whole entire time. Alright, so a good exercise to use to practice this I call is a goblet squat to a box. Alright, so what you want to do is you're going to hold the weight like this, and this is going to help make sure that you get those abs a little bit better engaged to help protect the back. Then from there, you're going to come to a box, and you're going to perform a squat, making sure that you sit the hips back, touch the box, and come right back up. Notice that when I squatted to the box, I didn't rest there. I kept my form and I just touched it just a little bit to make sure that I was getting my hips backward. That's why I like this exercise so much. So to show again, you're going to hold the weight up by your chest with your elbows underneath your wrists. You're going to come, you're going to touch the box, come right back up. So that is goblet squats to box, and that's the squatting pattern. Another valuable tool to use to help get you ready for the Glencoe Grand Prix. Typically, if you're going to go moderate weight, you want to do about 3 sets or about 8 to 10 reps.